You can Google what Valletta looks like. You can't Google what it feels like. This is a 450-year-old fortress city built by Crusader knights. Valletta is the Europe's smallest capital city at just 0.61 square kilometers. You can literally walk the entire capital in an afternoon. Valletta has 320 monuments packed into half a square kilometer. That makes it one of the most historically dense places on the planet. You literally can't take a wrong turn here. Every street leads to something that's been standing since before your country existed.
So today we are going to do a short boat trip to Valletta. Of course the bus goes to Valletta, but it takes a lot of time. The roads are very narrow, so the bus takes kind of time.
One-way ticket of public ferry is 3 euros, and if you take two-way ticket then it's 4.8 euros. You can also travel by other private boats as well, that's your choice. From Sliema to Valletta, it's just 8 minutes, but people have been making this exact crossing since 1882. During World War II, this same route carried wounded soldiers to the hospital. Early mornings in Valletta hits different. Only 5,000 people live here, and right now, every single one of them is just doing their morning. Then slowly, tourists like us show up, backpacks, Google Maps, photographing your door and whatnot. Same city but two completely different scenarios happening at the same time. These wooden balconies are Malta's most preserved finest gem. Every building has these painted wooden boxes shooting out called Galaria. Built in 1600, wood had to be imported, so only the rich had them. The Grand Master built the first one and used it to spy on his own knights without being seen. The knights copied further to hide their affairs with Maltese women. Women used them to see the street without men seeing them back. In a stone city with no trees, they were the only air conditioner anyone had. It is still protected by law. You literally cannot demolish one without government's permission. At 9:45 in the morning, almost all restaurants started opening, and that's completely normal in Valletta. The fun fact is, city runs on Mediterranean time and it does not care about your schedule. Instead of restaurants, look for small bakeries for breakfast. This feels like city was not built for your convenience, it was built for itself.
Now I know why Valletta is the most walked city, because the roads here, just wait, I'll show you.
Valletta is built on a hill. These steps were engineered in the 1500s to stop soldiers. An army in full armor climbing steep steps, nearly impossible. The city used its own streets as a defense. Across the Valletta, we discovered red British phone box. Same design as London. After ruling Malta, British left completely in 1979, but these phone box stayed because locals protested. Now they are protected heritage sites, some are tiny libraries, some are souvenir shops.
We are sitting in front of St. John Co Cathedral, and we have found this online application where you can have the audio guides for every monument in Malta. Maybe it's having for other European cities as well, but we just discovered on our recent Malta trip. They have like 2 hours of walking tour, and you follow their map, so as soon as you reach to the monument, the audio gets played.
We continued our walk and we stumbled upon one of the best views in Europe. The view came from Sacra Infermeria, the Knights' old hospital on the waterfront, now the Mediterranean Conference Center. We are looking at 500-year-old fortified cities across the harbor, and these are older than the Valletta itself. From this same corner, that's Upper Baraka Gardens, and right below it, those cannons, the saluting battery. They still fire every single day, noon and 4 p.m. Same spot, same tradition for over 200 years.
Also in Valletta, I've seen most old buildings. I think this is not even in operation. Gun firing time is at 12 p.m. We have almost reached half an hour before, because if you don't reach half half an hour before, then you might not get a space to stand there. If you want to watch it closely, then also you can pay here, you can scan and you can go this way.
Your ticket gives you entry to the cannon level. You get access to the battery itself, a fully restored gun-powered magazine, an artillery store, a collection of original muzzle loading cannons, and a small museum. Staff in period uniform walk you through exactly how the cannon is loaded and fired. But here's the thing. From Upper Baraka Gardens above, you can actually watch the firing for free, just like what we did. The view from up, looking down on the cannons with the grand harbour behind them, is spectacular.
And we wish you invited down here to be up close to the cannon when it goes off, so you can feel the shockwaves, smell the gunpowder, and see how the smoke billows out over the Grand Harbour, up close and in person.
Loading on! Fire!
Almost for 140 years, this view from Upper Baraka Gardens, but now anyone can walk in for free and the view hits you immediately. Grand Harbour below, 3 cities across the water, the saluting battery cannons pointing straight down at it all. On a clear day, you can see forever.
Valleta's fortification system features 2 distinct public gardens built on top of the massive bastions, both offering some of the most spectacular photography spots in the Mediterranean Sea.
Now we are standing in Castile Square. It sits at the highest point of Valleta. Knights lived here, British Army headquarters were here. Underneath, a World War II tunnel system connects it to another building across the street. When you keep walking ahead, the bastion wall drops down towards the harbour tip. It's one of the biggest natural deep water harbours in Europe. The same harbour the Knights used to dock their warships, and it was bombed relentlessly during World War II.
I am right in front of the war memorials, and during World War II, Malta was bombed for 154 days consecutively.
Malta is 122 square miles, smaller than most cities, and every major empire in history wanted it. Phoenicians, Romans, Arabs, the Knights, Napoleon, the British, one after another for 7,000 years. Malta sits dead center in the Mediterranean. Whoever controls this island controls the sea lane between Europe and Africa. During World War III, the German bombed it for years because losing Malta meant losing North Africa.
And even after the bombing, people of Malta survived and they have shown their bravery. That's why they have got, the whole country in fact got the Britain's Greatest Bravery Award.
Every road in Valleta is a straight line. An Italian military engineer designed this entire city in 1566 with one grid. Straight streets to channel sea breeze through the city like natural AC. No trees, no shade, pure limestone. Without the wind tunnels, this city would be unbearable in summer. Valleta has 4 food streets worth knowing. Republic Street for historic cafes and pastries, Strait Street where the old sailors' red light district is now wine bars and bistros, Merchant Street for real local prices, and St. Lucie Street where you eat on descending staircases with fairy lights overhead. We skipped all of them and went to Ta Nenu. When in Valleta, eating at Ta Nenu is recommended. The place still has the original 100-year-old stone oven. They serve iconic Maltese eftira, aka Maltese pizza. Thicker crust, local toppings, Gozitan cheese, capres, olives, Maltese sausage, potato, and whatnot. You get to choose from veg, non-veg. We took the chicken one. Overall, 2 pieces were really heavy for me because the base was very thick. So the recipe has passed down through generations. So for that particular experience, you can definitely come here. After Ta Nenu, Adi wanted to eat Jeff's Pastisi, so we are here. This is very iconic place and you cannot miss this whenever you are in Valleta. After exploring the Valleta, it's time to take the ferry back. On other side, Sliema has glass buildings, rooftop bars, designer stores, coffee shops, and waterfront. Valleta is what Malta was. Fortress walls, 460 years of limestone, a city that fought off empires. Sliema is what Malta is becoming. Modern, fast, built for a different kind of visitor.
You can also go by these small boats which goes to Valleta, that is per person €3.
This is the view from our hotel's rooftop bar. So we are staying in Alavits, that's in Gazira, between Sliema and Valletta. On my left you see Sliema Harbour, modern side of Malta, and on the right side it's the Valletta's entire skyline. The fortress walls, the dome, everything is just framed in one view. This is hotel swimming pool and it is so small. I don't know why. It's a sunset view from our hotel room's window and it's time to go for a dinner now. After all of that, we are back to our favorite Asian food. If you like this video, then let me know in the comments. Until then, bye.